Hi, it's Denise Sawyer from WholesomeMommy.com, and it's dinner time here at the Sawyer residence. So what I've done so far is I've put together a meal that is crowd-pleasing and hearty, will fill everybody up, but it still left my wallet filled up, not empty. So the first thing I've done is I've prepared my country potatoes, and all I did is I sliced them thinly and put them in a casserole dish, and then put a few pats of butter on top and some salt and pepper, and now they're ready to go into the oven. So I've prepared these first because they're going to take the longest. And the good thing about this meal is everything can go in the oven. And since you've already turned the oven on, why not cook as much as you can in there? And then you've got time to do something else that needs to be done, or you can spend time with your little ones. So next I have the Salisbury steak that I'm preparing, and all that's in here is the hamburger meat. I'm using grass-fed ground chuck and a third of a can of Campbell's mushroom soup, a handful of saltine crackers. I think I used about 5 or 6 crushed up, an egg, and I used half an onion. You can use more or less depending on your family's taste. I generally use about a half when I'm preparing something like this, meatloaf or something similar. So it is kind of like a meatloaf because it's got the eggs and the crackers, so you've got your binder and your filler, but the difference is the mushroom soup, which is going to be in the meat, and then the rest of it we're going to use to make the gravy in a little bit, in a little while later.
Mom?
Okay, so the first part of the meat is finished. So my oven timer has gone off, and it's time to pull the meat out, and since this was a ground chuck, there is some grease on the meat, so I'm going to drain that off. And I'm going to mix, you can either use a bouillon cube or a teaspoon. What I like to use is this Better Than Bouillon. And I just use a teaspoon that's equivalent of what a bouillon cube would be. And what I've done is I've put this water in the microwave until it was boiling. So it's really hot water, and I'm dissolving the Better Than Bouillon paste into this water. And once it's dissolved, then you can add in the rest of the mushroom soup. And now all that's left to do is just drain the grease off the meat, and then I'll pour this mixture, this gravy mixture, over the meat and put it back in the oven for about 20 more minutes, and then it'll be ready to eat. Alright, so dinner is all done, and here's the finished product, so you can see what it looks like. So that's your budget-friendly meal in its completion.